In a city that never sleeps, dreams are built from nothing and turned into empires. Welcome to the Empire State of Mind podcast, where entrepreneurs rise.
Hey everyone, welcome to a new episode of Empire State of Mind. I'm your host, Diana Burgos, and with me today is a special guest, Rhasaan Sherrill. Welcome, Rhasaan. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank,
Rhasaan,
thank you for having me, Diana. It's a
of,
pleasure.
of course, of course. And so I wanted to hop on with you for a long time because you and I need to catch up. So, of course, we're going to do some offline. But I wanted to have you on to share your story of transformation. Um, we met in the DG Mindset community back a few years ago, and I met Rhasaan there. We did a Mindfest together in person. We met in person, and you briefly shared a little bit about your journey and how you were going through a transition in your relationship, in your business. And I wanted to just get all the details and update because I know I see you doing so well and everything has been moving up for you. So thank you again. So Rhasaan Sherrill is the founder of Beatbox Dance Academy. So, she has little moves. You see her really shy, but she got some moves on her. And it is in the Southern and Northern California area, right? Okay.
That's
So
correct.
yeah, so I want to get to know a little bit more about your dance academy and when did you start it and what was the vision behind it?
Sure. So, Beatbox Dance Academy, we just made 10 years in February this year, which is so phenomenal. I didn't even imagine getting here. So, the company was based out of actually me going back to school in 2014. I was actually studying fashion. I was in the fashion industry for a couple years. It just kind of got disillusioned with that. But I had always danced. That was always like my outlet. I did it for free. I just love movement. And so I decided to leave the fashion industry and I wanted to go back to school, but I wasn't sure which direction that I wanted to go. So I just sat and thought about it a little bit. And then what just came just naturally was study dance. You've been doing this for so long. You teach, let's have a little bit more of a formal structure. And I didn't have any idea of starting my own business. It was, let's just go to school and see what naturally unfolds after that. So I think it was my last year of school I had to do. It's almost like a dissertation. It's like a culminating project. And I decided to come up with my own dance curriculum that focused on hip hop. And it's kind of like a common core of hip hop. So common core is like state standards for children to meet. And I coupled that with dance so that it's not just like, okay, we're getting together, we're dancing, I'm going to teach you this routine and you perform it. Like, no, let's have some educational tenets that are ingrained into the curriculum but make it hip hop, make it fun, right? So that was my project. And I said, yo, this is kind of cool. I wish I had this when I was in school. So, like I said, I had already been teaching just for fun with my community development center that I was a part of, and just at random studios. And so I thought about let me take this to the streets and let me connect with my network that I already have established relationships with. And I think my first client was through a parent at my community development center. She was on the PTA of an elementary school and she just connected me to the principal. That was my first client. And from there, I mean, between word of mouth and me just hitting the streets and going from school to school and just pitching my program, that's how I began to grow in Southern California. And then eventually in 2000, so this was like 2017, 2017, 2019, I moved to the Bay Area towards the end of the year and then decided to, pitch my program there. I got into my first school and then COVID hit.
Oh my
And so
God,
from
yeah.
there, the word pivot, I still get triggered because there was so much pivoting in terms of dancing. And as dance teachers, we want to be in person. We want to be able to see, to feel the energy of our students and to actually be able to kind of help mold them and actually put hands on them to, shape them. So
Right.
teaching virtually it was a feat, but
Yeah.
we got through it. And then eventually the world started opening up. And then again, just kind of hitting the streets and going school to school and letting them know about my program. And they were really receptive in the Bay Area. And so I went from just like one school in Southern California to now, I mean, we work with districts where we're at over, 18 schools within a district. And then I have other schools all throughout Northern California that my staff and I serve. And it's
Oh.
been a journey, but I wouldn't trade it for the world. It's been-
So
Yeah.
do you go to the schools or do they come to your place?
Right. So it is mobile. So we go to the school. So there's no physical location. And
Okay.
when I created my business model, I knew I always wanted it to be that way. I wanted to be able to move around and not be housed at one location. So yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the best. Like, I mean, especially after COVID, I found working from home and remotely to be like, I started embracing it. After like the first couple of, months into it, I was like going crazy, right? But then once it started opening again, and then, I think the community meeting you guys online, we all met online in the life coaching community. I think it opened my mind to like,
Yeah.
it's so cool that I get to talk to you like in California, Maria in Hawaii, and people all over the world. I think there's like
Yeah.
one girl from Australia, remember? And so I thought it was so cool. So then I just started embracing like the remote life. And that's all I want to do now. Like anything remote, like that gives me flexibility, that's where it's at for me too. Do you service
What was
just
that?
children or adults? Like, do you service just children or adults?
Yeah, primarily. I mean, I do have some private clients from here and there that I teach, and I mean, I've gone taught from 4 all the way to 60. But
Oh, wow.
yeah, with the company with
Mhm.
Beatbox, it's just children.
Okay, all right. And is there a specific reason working with kids?
That's just always what my heart has been drawn to. And, children, especially younger ones, they're just such sponges and they're just so open and willing to try new things. And I just think about when I was a child and I started my dance journeys, I started in ballet, like a lot of folks. But I was just so impressionable. And that's the time where you just feel like you can kind of do anything in the world.
Mhm.
It's just new to you. And I mean, it's also good for training at a young age if you want to continue and develop into dance. Excuse me, the earlier you start, the more you get like that foundation locked in and then you can build upon it. But yeah, children are just so cool. They're so fun. They're energizing. They're not stuck in their ways. And so I just find it really rewarding. And some children go through a lot of things that we're not even aware of outside of the school.
Mhm.
And sometimes it's really, how do I want to say it? You just never know the impact that you have on a young person's life. And sometimes think, oh, it's just dance. But a lot of times it's an outlet, it's a way of expression, it's a way of communication, it's a way of being seen, it's a way of building confidence, it's a way of regulating your emotions. And I just love to see that for a younger generation. I mean, we're all kids at heart, right? Like, I'm an adult, but deep inside, I still feel like a little kid, and I so many times I wish I could get back to that time and that
Right.
sacred place, like, it's just a beautiful place. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I love working. Yeah, I do.
Yeah, so I was thinking about you earlier. I always dance here in my house with my kids. I have two boys, and music is always a part of
I
our
do.
daily life routine in the morning, even at night. Like, and now that we're off, like it's a dance party all day long, right? And so I thought about how much music has meant to me as a child, as a way of, I think I used it as therapy, to be honest, to escape from whatever troubles I was experiencing at the time, right? Whether you come from a household where things were, chaotic or unstable, or you felt unseen. Like, music for me has been a way to reconnect with me. And there's a part of me that it just naturally glows up when I hear music, and then I dance. So I've been gifted the
Yeah.
talent of singing as well. So I remember times where, and I'm like, why didn't I become a singer? Well, we'll get to that later. Um, I remember times where,
Hey.
you go through like those awkward teenage years, and you're just like, self-esteem and all that stuff. And I remember just listening to Whitney Houston, Paula Abdul, Mariah Carey in middle school. And I would get a hairbrush and I would just be like, you know, clock strikes upon you now. And I just went like there was a whole concert. Nobody was there. Nobody was there. My mom was probably
Yeah.
cooking dinner. My brothers were outside playing, and I had a whole concert with myself in front of the mirror. And I remember that being like a therapeutic, you know. And remember like Janet Jackson, like the if video, if I was your girl, the things I do to girl, that choreography.
Yes.
I had it down pat. Ask me to do that now. I don't
Yeah.
remember, but I remember doing that, like doing the steps and
Yeah.
like just being in my element. And now that I'm almost 50, right? I'm going to be 50 next year. And I've been through a lot of transformation, a lot of hard changes, a lot of transitions in my life. I took it back to the basics, like you were saying. I took it back to dance and music and singing and expression. Like, it's all about just me showing up as what naturally lights me up. And I think I was like, when I thought about it, I was like, well, you always sang and danced. So, like, just do more of that. Like, cause I always do listen to music and stuff, but I'm like, no, like, really do it. Like, every day, like, do a little concert. And I'm like, okay. And that has helped me. So do you find, for you, creating this business and this business model, do you find it similar to your journey as far as like music and dance being therapeutic for you?
Yeah. I mean, oh, you said so many great things. It's interesting because, yes, I love dance and I'm privileged to be able to do what I love. But even in that, when you put it kind of like in the confines of business, sometimes it can become monotonous and it can become like this is something that I have to do as opposed to something that I get to do. And you
Mm.
do it so often, it's easy. Like I can put out a routine and I can, get the job done, but it doesn't always have like that spark and that inspiration behind it. And sometimes that can kind of
Mm.
get lost. I think, especially for those in the creative, field, when you're just so focused on doing opposed to being and embodying and whatever you are
Mm.
embodying, as a result, there's like a flow that comes out, right? There's like the output is so organic, but then it can just become like, you know, routine. So, I mean, I know now as of recent, since I've moved back to Southern California, I've been taking dance classes just for fun because
Mm.
I kind of lost that and just the busyness of being a business owner and I have to, just get stuff done. And
Okay.
so, and not just that, just doing things that just spark creativity. So that might be, I don't know, painting.
Hmm.
A couple weeks ago, I went to the beach and I roller skated because I haven't
Ooh.
done that in years. I'm learning how to DJ. So
Oh
I
yes,
posted
I
my
just
very
see a
first
video.
DJ on YouTube.
Ooh,
Yeah,
okay, we gotta
that's
check that
music.
out. Yes, yes.
Yeah,
I could
yeah, yeah.
so
So,
see you as a DJ.
yeah,
Yeah.
DJ Shawnee B, that's my handle. But,
All right.
it's all the things that yes, it's all the things that bring joy to my life, and, you don't have you just do, and you just flow, and you get to be a kid, like, think about when you're a kid and you just try something new because it's of interest to you, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm kinda in that place, and again, just like really enjoying dance for the sake of just doing it for its artistry, for its outlet of expression, and just creating movements that really speak to where I am in my life or where I want to be, or just even like whatever the music is saying to me at that moment and just embodying it and letting it flow out of me. Hope that answers the
Wow.
question.
No, yeah, of course, of course. So there was a time, I think, when you and I spoke in person at the Mind Fest. I think you told me that you stopped dancing for a while. And was there a particular reason why? And would you like to share?
Really a few reasons. Like I said before, it's just, it just became work for a little bit. Then I had an injury. Um,
Mm,
Back in July 2024, I had to get surgery on my hip because I had a tear in my labrum. And, just as a dancer, you have like lots of injuries. So I had been having issues with my hip like a couple years
mm,
prior to that. And so there's this thing that can be very frustrating because in my mind, I feel like I can do anything. I'm very active. I've always been active since I was a child. But then when you have these injuries, sometimes it can be really frustrating because there's like a dissonance between what you are feeling here and then what your body's actually capable of. So that prevented me from moving and dancing, and probably just life, a lot of transitions with I was married for 16 years. We're no longer married. We're the bestest of friends, but just navigating changes in life and relationships. Sometimes, that can pull you out of what
right.
you are, of the thing that was almost your life source. And so, yeah.
Yeah, it's almost creating a new identity. Like, what do I do now, right? After the changes. And so I think you and I kind of connected on that because it does take some time, and it takes grace, and it takes a lot of self love, self care. And so I know that you recently started traveling and you went to Vietnam and you posted a whole vlog about it. So can you tell us about that? And was that part of your like healing journey?
Yeah, I mean, Diana, I've been on this healing journey for a while. We both have. We met a couple years ago, and it doesn't end. There's
It doesn't end.
layers,
Doesn't end.
layers.
Yeah.
It doesn't, and I think over the past couple years, I was like in it, like in the trenches, and I would say probably last year around this time, it was kind of like the toughest part. We've talked about like was it the dark night of the soul,
Oh,
and
the dark
I kind of
seat of the
felt like.
soul. I call it
Uh,
the dark seat of the soul.
what is it that you call it?
The dark seat of the soul. The dark seat.
The dark seed. Huh.
No, seat. Seat.
Why dark seat? Seat, like sitting.
Like you're in the
Okay.
dark seat. Yeah. The shadow work, you
Yeah,
know?
I mean, for sure. That's all that it is. It's really sitting with self and peeling back the layers and just questioning and examining why, where did these things come from? So I would
Hmm.
say, yeah, last year I was probably in the thick of it. And then but it was just so beautiful. It was just like a beautiful unfolding and shedding, lots of shedding of
Hmm.
like old identities, belief systems to figure out, okay, who am I in this dispensation of my life? Just Rhasaan, not Rhasaan, the wife, not Rhasaan, the dance teacher or the business owner, not even Rhasaan, the daughter, the friend, but
Hmm.
like, who am I? What do I enjoy? So, just like kind of like stripping all that stuff kind of created like this blank canvas. And I was deathly afraid of traveling by myself. So much anxiety. I used to have a phobia of airports because I would be afraid that I would get lost, especially like if you have like a connecting flight. Oh my gosh, the dread of it all.
Good for
So I
you.
said, you
Look
know
at
what?
that.
Yeah, it was a real thing. So I said, I don't like for anything to hold me hostage and like especially fear. So I said, well, I guess I got to do it. I guess I got to take an international trip. Like we're not just going to go like to another state. We're going to go to another country on the other side of the world. I don't speak the language. I don't really know much about it, but I had a blast. I'm hooked.
Really?
I'm
Yeah.
planning another trip in the next few months. I mean, and you know, like the joy and the excitement of travel because that, that was your field at one
Yeah,
point.
yeah, yeah, of course. I haven't been that far yet, though.
So,
I wanna go to Bali.
well,
That's
girl,
my
what you
next
waiting
stop.
for?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, my kids are like, they say, "Are we there yet?" To a flight to Florida. Imagine Bali, like it's 24 hours. So I'm trying to coordinate where I could keep them home and I could just go by myself. So that's what's stopping me. I
That
wanna do
makes
a
sense.
solo
Yeah, because
trip.
the flight isn't. Well, have you done like local, not local, but even like, okay, because you're in Jersey, but you're close to like Miami. You can go to a lot of places. So have you done any solo trips that are closer to home?
Oh yeah, I've done solo trips. Before I had kids, girl, I had a
Okay.
whole different life. Yeah, and
Oh, I'm sure.
actually, I did travel by myself a couple of places. But I did a lot of my travel in my 20s and 30s, and then I still travel locally, but now I want to take it like to across the pond, if you will, like Europe. I want to go to Indonesia. I want to go to Japan, Philippines. Like there, I have a whole bucket list. The furthest I've been to, like down south, I would say Costa Rica. But like Brazil, I mean, there's so
Mm.
many places. And so I definitely
Would
would
love
love
to go to
that.
Brazil.
Yes, yes. So, how long were you there in Vietnam? How long were you there for?
I was in Da Nang, Vietnam for 7 days. So I pretty much stayed there. I know some people kind of bop around and go because there's so many wonderful places that you can visit in Vietnam. But since it was my first trip, Southeast Asia, I said, I'm just gonna stay put and I'll travel, 45 minutes out max. But yeah, I stayed in Da Nang and then one day I took a day trip to Hoi An. It's like the ancient city, and that's like about an hour away. But 7 full days. I stayed right on the beach at a hotel called Hoi An Resort and Spa. And yeah, I just immersed myself in it, and I mean, I would definitely go back. I would try some different areas in Vietnam, but I highly recommend it, especially for solo travelers, especially for women.
Okay.
And yeah, I just felt very safe the entire time. No issues.
Were you able to do a lot of reflecting? Did you do some of that, like some intentional, work?
So this is a this was the plan. My plan was to get up at 5 a.m. in the morning because it was really hot. It's extremely hot. We're talking about like 90 to 95 degrees every day, humidity at 88%. So hot, sticky. So the plan was to wake up at 8 a.m. and, excuse me, 5 a.m., go to the beach, watch the sunrise, and just have my time, journal. But let me tell you, that beach was packed at 5 a.m., packed with people. So in my mind, it was just going to be me,
You couldn't be
just
him?
quiet, solitude.
No,
'Cause it's
wasn't
so
happening.
hot.
Mm.
Yeah, it wasn't. It's so hot, so everybody flocks to the beach really, really early in the morning or in the evening, and it's pretty, like, dead in the, daytime, afternoon. So it just really wasn't conducive, and also, Diana, where I was staying, heavily it was, like, very saturated with tourists, and so
Mm.
now I know I need to be able to I like to be in the city, but I also need nature. I need to be kinda, like, set out so I can ground, and it can be quiet, and that just really helps regulate me, and it's more conducive for, like, what you were asking, like, setting intentions and all that stuff, but, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm hearing motorbikes going back and forth, and I'm hearing people. So I
And you
loved
just
it. Don't get me
yeah,
wrong, I
yeah.
enjoyed it, but it wasn't a trip for that. But I got to go to the spa and, relax and woosah.
No, I
Yeah.
mean, it's beautiful, from like the pictures I see and people that have been there, they tell me that it's amazing. So, is there anything else that you do now that you're in this new season of your life, a lot of changes we talked about and you're still expanding your business. So, where do you see yourself going in the next couple of years?
Yeah, well, right now I'm actively in terms of business, I'm really actively working to scale my business. Um, you know, like I said, it's primarily in Northern California, but I really want to bring it more so to, well, in addition to Southern California, and then also more go into like curriculum development
Mm.
and everything is in person. It's like customer facing for what I do. Like, we go to schools, we teach the students, which is amazing, but I also want to share, my heart and my ideas in terms of like curriculum beyond just California. And so how do I do that? I can't be, and even like my staff, we can't be everywhere at one time. So that looks like, coming up with curriculum and licensing it to districts and schools. And it doesn't have to just be California. We can do statewide. And so that, you know, Beatbox is meeting the needs at a greater scale, and so we're more like a movement solutions based company opposed to
Mm.
just we come and we teach classes after school, but like how do we expand and really meet a greater need? Because still, a lot of schools take out the arts in their programming, and so children are not being exposed to dance and to the performing arts. And so I want to keep that going. And then also, hip hop. Hip hop is huge. It continues to grow, but my heart is always for us to remember the origin so that does not get diluted. And so
Mm.
children are aware of
Mm.
that as we go from one generation to the next, that we don't lose sight of that. So that's why I'm really keen on like hip hop dance education. So
Okay.
that's kind of where I see myself. I want to travel more. I would
Yeah.
love to spend maybe like once a quarter, spend a couple weeks, maybe even a month just out of the country and detach from all this craziness that we call United States. So to
Yeah.
do more of that.
Okay. And
Yeah.
where could people
And
find you and learn more about you?
yeah, so for my company, it's beatboxda.com and Beatbox Dance Academy on social media, YouTube and Instagram. And let's see, for me personally, Shawnee B on Instagram. That's SAANYB. So you can see my travel journey, my DJ journey, all that stuff.
And if anyone is interested in private dance lessons, is that something that they could connect with you on? And can they do that virtually? Like, let's say someone in Jersey wants to, you know, some dance lessons. Do you offer that?
Someone in Jersey, huh? No, just messing. Yeah. They can reach out to me and we could always have a conversation and see what works. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
of
And then my
course.
email, well, it's Rhasaan at beatboxda.com. I don't know if I can put that somewhere, but and it can just come
Yes.
directly to me.
Yes, I would link it in the show notes so that people could reach you. And thank you once again, Rashawn, for coming on and just updating me on all the good things you're doing. I'm so super proud of you. And I see you lighting up. And even though I didn't know you from way back when, I know that like the person that I met in the academy or the community till now, I see you flourishing, thriving, and I see that this healing journey has served you very well, my dear. So, I'm super proud of you. And may you continue to, share your love and light for dance and hip hop and pouring into those kids. You truly make an impact. And so if you enjoyed this episode, please make sure that you leave a review, you share it with others so that they can tune in and hear all these amazing stories. And till the next time, see ya. Thank you once again, Rashawn.
Thank you, Diana. It was a privilege. Thank you.
Thank you.